Hey guys, welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Joey.
And today, as promised, we are talking about Love, Death, and Robots.
Yes.
Volume 3. It just came out this past weekend. The 20th, which I think was yesterday, right? Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, so
Friday.
yeah, me and him, we just sat down, we watched all of them. If you've been watching the channel, you know that we actually saw a preview for this a couple weeks ago. So there were a couple episodes we didn't have to watch because we had already seen them. So we were able to run through this. I think it took us about 2 hours. Season 3 is 9 episodes. And again, each about 15 minutes long. Which, by the way, if you don't know what this is about, we'll tell you. It's an anthology series created by David Fincher and Tim Miller. Each one of the episodes is around, anywhere from 9 to around 17 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
And each one is a self-contained story. So there is no running, like the season doesn't rely on the other episodes, hence anthology. That's what it means.
Yeah.
And each one is animated. Animated by different studios. Each one directed by, Tim Miller or David Fincher. And yeah, they basically choose their animation style and they tell the story in that way.
Yeah.
And we are treated to it because it is some great animation, great stories, great, very diverse genres and tones and everything. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to talk about Season 3. I'm going to tell you what our favorites were. And we're going to get started with that. So, Season 3, like I said, it's 9 episodes. We're going to run through them really quickly. Okay? I got them listed right here. So the first episode is called 3 Robots, Exit Strategies. This is actually a callback to Season 1.
Yeah.
It picks up, it's about these 3 robots basically exploring a post-apocalyptic world.
Apocalyptic.
Yeah. World where humans, have basically destroyed themselves. So they're going around just trying to uncover human history.
Yep.
It's a comedy. It's very funny.
It's like a field trip.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. These 3 robots are on a field trip, going around discovering why humans did the things they did. The next one was probably the longest of the season. It's called Bad Traveling. This one is the one we saw in theaters. Yeah. It's about a crew of a ship who gets invaded by a very terrifying sea monster. This one is not for kids.
No.
Actually, very few of these are. Actually, I don't think any of these are for kids.
No.
But especially this one. It is incredibly bloody and gory and graphic.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get invaded by a sea monster who demands the crew takes them to an island so it can feed. And, basically the crew has to figure out what they're going to do to survive. And if they're going to sacrifice an island full of people to this monster.
Pretty creepy.
Yeah. And very well animated. Both of these were done in like CGI, like kind of like a video game cutscene, but way better.
Really,
yeah,
amazing work.
Yeah. The next episode of the season was called "The Very Pulse of the Machine." This one is actually animated more like a cartoon, and it's about this astronaut exploring one of the moons of Jupiter. And she gets in an accident, her oxygen is running out, and she has to make it to a base to survive. The base is about 26 miles away, and she has, I think, maybe, 14 hours of oxygen? I forget what it is, but, yeah, and on the way there, she goes on, like, an acid trip.
That's the best way to explain it.
Yeah. Yep. Then the next one is called Night of the Mini Dead, which is one of Jovi's favorites. We saw this in the theater.
Yes.
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's Night of the Living Dead, but it's like a claymation animation, and it's
wonderful.
They're very, very small figures.
For them to have done that took a long time, and you don't see that animation style anymore. It's not much more to explain for that one.
Yeah. Yep. The next one is called Kill Team Kill. Again, this one's animated, again more like a cartoon.
Yeah, it's like a knockoff G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Like Venture Brothers looking kind of cartoon, but it's cool.
Yeah, and and I mean, yeah, they're like you said, they're GI Joes, and there's a monster that they have to fight and try to kill. It's very funny. I mean, it was a funny one.
Yeah, no, that shit's funny.
The next one. So the next one was called Swarm, and I gotta admit,
yeah.
this one is actually like very few of these stories you really have to like pay attention to.
Yeah,
But this one you actually have to like to understand it. You really have to like focus on it. Like this is one I'd have to rewatch again to really understand.
It was
what
like
going
halfway through, and I made a comment, and Sam was just like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Okay." It's just like it is. It's very. It's not as fun watchable. I don't know how do you say that.
Yeah, it's not as fun.
It's just that's it. It's just not. It's not fun.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's very serious. It seems.
Yeah.
It's very sci-fi-ish. And I honestly, I don't know enough to explain what it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's about two scientists studying an alien species, but that's as far as I can go.
And they're learning from them. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you'll understand if you watch it. You
Yeah,
see how that's a question mark.
Yeah, this is one I'd have to watch again to fully understand it.
Yeah. That's fine.
Also, again, animated, and that one was actually, I pointed this out, that one was probably the best looking one.
It definitely is.
It's the best looking one. That giant was beautiful.
Everything, including the humans, which they look weird, because I made the comment too. Wow, that is probably the hardest thing to do. Make a human look like a human. And I think they tried, but everything else was like, okay, this is terrifying.
Yeah.
Because if this was real, they could pass it off for real.
Right. Yep. Then we go to episode, I believe this is episode 7. It's called Mason's Rats.
This is my favorite.
Yeah. And
This is my favorite.
We're come back. We have to come back and talk about this. But basically, a farmer has a rat infestation in his barn, so he calls a company to exterminate them. But it's not a regular extermination company that would fumigate. This company specializes in death robots. So they give him a death robot to go fight the mice, and it's so funny to watch it because it turns into a war between the robot and the mice. Oh man,
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Then the second to last episode is called "In Vaulted Halls Entombed." This one, Jovi basically said. I mean, you see like a Call of Duty team. They're soldiers.
Yeah.
And I think they're chasing either traitors or mutineers. They're chasing somebody that they need to capture. And they come across one of them, and I believe he's dead.
Yeah.
And they figure out that it quickly turns from like a capture mission into basically the movie Alien. Or actually Aliens, because there's more of them.
Yeah. Immediately.
Yeah, immediately. Like they're like, are they called xenomorphs? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is.
Xenomorph,
Yeah. Basically, they just come and start killing these soldiers off. Like seriously, in the same way. And one by one, they get killed, and the few that survive try to escape. And that's basically it. It's a very straightforward story. And then the last one of the seasons, one we had also seen, is called Jabaro. This one is it's about a I don't even know how to describe this. It's very it's very artistic.
It's the most artistic one out of the entire season,
and it's sound oriented. So basically, it's like it takes place in medieval times. I guess medieval times. And these knights come across this lady of the lake, who uses her sound to entrap them. One of the knights happens to be deaf though, so her spell or whatever doesn't work on him. And I guess she becomes interested in him because, she can't trap him like the others, so she starts following him, and it becomes kind of like a game of cat and mouse between the two, where first she seems to be studying and hunting him, then he seems to be studying and hunting her, and yeah.
That's a great way to explain it. I mean, and
it's pretty creepy too.
It's terrifying, but the most artistic one and probably the best sounding one because the sound is what drives the story.
Yeah, there's no dialogue.
Yeah,
it's all about the sound. Like I said, he's deaf and she uses sound. She's like a siren. She uses sound to attract men, and so it's all about the sound in this one.
Crazy. There's
it gets pretty graphic.
It gets very graphic. So if any of these that you don't let your children watch, that joint, the episode of Law and Order.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, 9 episodes. It was really quick.
Yes, Pizza Rat. Pizza Rat is a perfect example of what they look like in the freaking.
Yeah, man, with the hat and everything. So Joe, which ones would you say were your favorites? Which ones would you say were, if you had a least favorite?
So top 3 would be top number 1 is what is it? Wilson's Rat? Mason's Rats. Number 2 would be, let me see. Number 2 would be Night of the Many Dead, and number 3 would be Bad Traveling for me.
Gotcha.
The rest, in a nutshell, are great animation, pretty cool stories. It is very weird because we have background to know that this was all supposed to be one season. To see how graphically more advanced season 2, volume 2 was compared to this, I'm just like, I hope these weren't afterthoughts or afterthought episodes, because we were told in the interview that one of these got created literally days before that they gave it to Netflix. So I don't know. Volume 3 doesn't really hold, besides the 3 that I mentioned, and the, 2 other ones really hold for the first 2 seasons. First volume 1, volume 2 were, best animation I've seen in years.
Oh, I see. I got you. I see what you're saying.
I feel like, and then even story wise, some of these didn't have great stories.
Yeah, I think. I still think Volume 2 is my favorite.
Volume 2 is.
Volume 1 had a lot. I was watching Volume 1 again, and I liked Volume 2 the most.
Yeah.
But I actually think this one, besides the number, in my opinion, I think it's actually comparable more to Season 1 than Season 2.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
So I truly enjoyed Bad Timing or Bad Traveling?
Bad Traveling.
The one with where there's the crew on the ship invaded by this monster.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed that. I thought it was a very well told story from beginning to end. It was animated and it was terrifying. Let's be real, it was scary. And I thought it had a really decent ending. I really liked the main character, the captain of the ship. Night of the Many Dead, I thought it was funny. I don't know why you love that one so much.
I think it's just because it is funny and it's not a traditional animation style. We don't get that anymore.
That's true.
So I think I'm giving it such a high. I'm praising it so much because they created an entire story with an overhead shot of something that's probably this big.
Right.
And that's incredible to me.
Gotcha. I think, again, with you, Mason's Rats would be my second favorite. That one was, when the farmer orders the robot, the first set of robots he orders actually get destroyed by the mice, right? And you see the mice are they're Rambo style, they're killing security cameras, knifing things and stuff.
Looking at him while they're doing it, just
And he's like, okay, so the robots you sent don't work, and the company's like, all right, we got one that definitely will work.
And works.
And they sent him the Ratpocalypse machine. And
oh my god,
watching this giant kill these rats was so funny. It's just it had no remorse. You would see mice running away and try to reach out for his family.
Shooting at
it. They would just shoot and kill him. It grabbed one, threw it in the air, and Jovi couldn't stop laughing, yo.
It cut the rat in half with bullets. But the funniest thing was, like Sam said, the family's just watching. And they animated these rats, just reaching up. And I'm like, whoever wrote this... and whoever directed this has my humor.
Right.
Because the fact that they watched their rat family member get just shot up.
Right. And their faces were just in shock. Oh, man. Yeah. And then, watching him go against them, and there's a last stand between the robot and the mice. Yeah, it was perfect. It was great. I have no complaints about that episode. And then one that that you didn't mention that I actually enjoyed. I liked the very pulse of the machine.
Oh yeah. That was very that was artsy.
And
like that was
that's
a painting.
I really only I liked it mostly because of the animation style. That's one where I can take screen captures and use it as a wallpaper.
Yeah.
That one again. That's the one with the astronaut who.
Gosh, you haven't said that in a while, so that means it definitely looked, guys and gals. It looked
really good.
Yeah.
It looked really good. Yeah. Now I didn't really like the way the story ended. So that just tells you how much I like the animation that I'm telling you. The animation was so good, but the story itself was, like I said, that astronaut went on she was on a bunch of medication to help her get through, and that joint threw her on the wildest acid trip.
It was cool.
But yeah, man. So those are my top 3. I think the rest of them were okay. The only one, again, that I guess I don't even want to say I didn't like any of them. I think all of them are watchable. But like you said, the one Swarm, that one, while it's watchable, that's one I'd have to I'd have to certainly be in a mood to watch it.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it myself.
And then it's gonna take multiple. It will take more than one watch. But yeah, man, I think it's good. Season 3. I don't think it's as good as season 2 was. I think season 2 it hit a high standard, especially with snow. That's the one that had snow in the desert. I believe.
Yeah. Just thinking about that one gave me goosebumps.
That
is probably the most impressive animation.
And then I think it's called Pop Squad. Pop Squad, yeah. Also very good in season 2. So volume 3, excellent. I mean, volume 3 good. Season 2 was excellent. But I think volume 3 and volume 1 are kind of on level here, whereas volume 2 was just a little bit higher.
It's regardless, completely watchable.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's going to enjoy it if you do enjoy this series. If you haven't seen it, start with volume 1 and just go through.
Yeah.
This is something you can put on, and when you're done with it a little bit, turn it off, come back to it. Fortunate enough that we have a viewing system upstairs, and that is.
So I was gonna say, like I said, I mean, and it's short. Volume 2 and Volume 3 are short enough. They're like films. I mean, so if you're folding clothes, like he's doing, if you're folding clothes or something,
I was literally folding clothes while we were watching, and it's great because they're runtime 2 hours, 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Yeah,
in total.
For the entire season.
Which is a movie.
Exactly.
But yeah, if you got a surround sound system and a really nice TV, it's gonna feel like we got the experience in a movie theater. It was really great to hear the creator say, "I never heard these the way I heard them today in a movie theater."
Yeah, when he said that.
The sound design for Volume 3 is what shines to me.
So I agree, and I think that even if we're acknowledging it's not as strong as season 2, the work that went into this was very impressive, and the people who didn't need to be commended. It was a feat, to say the least.
I'm looking forward to their next projects because they definitely were hinting that they're working on other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If it has anything to do with their work ethic on this and just thinking about Deadpool, it's going to be good.
Yep.
That's it. I really don't have... We can't stretch this out anymore.
I know, man. We liked it. We liked it.
Yeah.
I think you guys would like it. And when you watch it, let us know, man. So now you have all 3 seasons. Tell us what your favorites have been. Like we said, I think Snow in the Desert is top tier for us. But yeah, tell us what your favorite stories are. Which ones that you didn't necessarily like so much. We're always here for it. You can put them right down there in the comments, guys. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that little bell button. So you right. So you get them notifications from us, guys. And as always, until next time, we out.
Deuces.